live now. You can talk.
I'm so excited. Did you hear what dropped this morning? The new Final Conflict, the Downton Abbey movie. That's the big news of the morning.
Front door. Are you serious?
That's the big news of the morning. The Final Conflict.
Here's what I'll say. I've never watched one episode of Downton Abbey or any of the movies. I feel like I watched every episode of Downton Abbey in the movies.
Yeah. They're okay. I mean, they're good for what I enjoyed them.
If any of the UK people are watching, isn't it the same as Downstairs, Upstairs, or whatever?
You know what I did see though? I did see 28 Years Later, which I liked a lot. I liked it a lot because it's a different direction, and it's a weird ass ending. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, ruin every movie for everyone.
No, I'm not. But the ending, if you think about it, it matches the very beginning of the film.
Well, hold on. We can go into music a little. So the announcement for Rhino was just that the ZZ Top box is coming out. That's it.
Yeah.
And we knew they were repressing the cars and the television unnumbered.
Yes.
And I want to get the cars, so that's good for me.
Yeah, see, I don't.
What was a blunder about it?
I don't see it's a blunder. Now, I'm not going to order it. It's not for me. But the first one was massive and popular, and in terms of record sales, that period of ZZ Top is actually a more popular.
Well, that period of ZZ, although I find Eliminator and Afterburn maybe a little bit, but Eliminator a lot on vinyl. That's CD era, or no, wait.
Yeah, but it's still it's just before, but still.
But how many albums is from the 90s?
I think one is, but it's still an analog recording. But yeah, it doesn't have. The thing is, I don't have to be into everything to say it's. I don't think it's obviously not a blunder. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, wait.
That's the people who say
someone who's not truly interested, although I have maybe 3 of them, the Rhino hi-fis, is someone who's not really, who don't care when they make an announcement. They've made blunders before this announcement. The titles, like Stevie Nicks, am I wrong? Or that's another?
That was wrong. Yeah.
I mean, there are some choices they've made.
Everyone says, like, I was surprised the ho-hum response of that Wilco, and that's fucking excellent.
Yeah,
that first Wilco record is
I understand,
great.
But Wilco, I mean, you could say they're a cult band. They have their audience.
Exactly. Well, but same with television. Television's
television is different for lots of reasons. I'll tell you.
Yeah, but it's not a big.
No, I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why television is a better choice than Wilco.
You tell me.
So Wilco is still a band to this day. They're still putting out new music. They already have put out their catalog surpasses television.
Yes, absolutely.
Television was an influential band from a period of time where many influential bands came from. So in the regards to television, it's a band that people need to be educated on.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I don't disagree.
That's why the television is
that record used to be very expensive.
Well, yeah, I understand that. That aspect is what is behind a lot of my reasoning for why albums should be released.
That was very
but if there's a true reason why the television is better than the Wilco, it is that people need to know about that.
Why does it have to be a competition? They're two different genres.
By stating why does it have to be a competition, you're making it a competition.
Well,
I am not. The Wilco, here's the difference. The Wilco, when was the last time the Wilco? Well, the television one, Rhino, is.
There was a Wilco in 2017, I think.
The television historically has been put out. And in fact, the Chris Bellman cut is fun.
I mean, they've both been released before.
But I understand the reasoning behind the television. I do.
I do too.
I don't understand unless is Wilco's majority of their catalog on Warner's?
No. Well, the early stuff is, and then Non-Such, which is really part of Warner's, and then now it's their own label.
Yeah. So now here's one thing we do not talk about, because I know this to be true in the movie business. A lot of things are released to enhance the value of the catalog,
Sure.
right? So obviously things are put out to help the sales of the catalog, and maybe people will buy other albums and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I get the television. The Wilco, not so much.
Well,
I don't
I
understand
think the
that.
Wilco is an excellent choice.
Put up what Chris from Record Talk said.
All right.
What did he put?
Okay, I said the same thing, but you're saying it in a different way. I literally said the same thing.
Chris, to a lot of people, Wilco is not a boring record. I don't think they're boring. I don't think they're boring records. I mean, I think, what we talk about, a lot of people love SuperTramp. I think SuperTramp is boring, but I admit it's a big, huge, massive album.
Here's the one thing Wilco suffers from, and I like Wilco. I've seen them live.
They're great live.
But one Wilco song is not that much different than another Wilco.
Actually, that is totally untrue.
No, it is.
Whoa. You guys need to arm wrestle today. Oh.
If you listen to Yankee Foxtrot and you listen to Being There, and then you listen to
Mazzy,
Country,
plenty of people unsolicited will start humming a SuperTramp song. They're very hummable.
Of course.
Right now, hum a Wilco song right now. Do it. You can't do that with a Wilco.
Heavy metal drum.
You cannot do that with a Wilco.
Heavy metal drum.
SuperTramp is.
You can't.
I will say Wilco actually. I think a lot of people only have heard on the surface of Wilco. They have a lot more diversity than television, and I like television. I love television. I think they're a great band.
You know what? I listen to podcasts, and Seth Meyers and his brother do this podcast together they interview famous people about the family trips they went on, and the theme is done by Tweety. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good theme.
His stuff is really good. Sun Volt is good too. I mean, I prefer Tweety's voice over the Sun Volt guy, but I like Sun Volt too. That's the thing. They're going to do all of this stuff. Like, I had heard that the ZZ Top Box was coming. I didn't know it was this release. I heard like last year that that's in the queue, but I didn't know in what order. I know a few other things in the queue, but I don't know when. And some things obviously changed because of licensing.
Hey, Dan B, can you let me know when you became officially a hater of me? Thank you.
Impossible German.
Is that a Wilco song?
Yeah.
Pretty derivative though.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Although I can hum a Pearl Jam song, I don't like to. Not a Pearl Jam guy.
Yeah, I'm not really either.
But SuperTramp far superior to Wilco.
Oh, I don't agree with that. I mean, they sold more records, definitely. They sold more records. But no, I shouldn't say that. It's just not my taste. To me, SuperTramp bores the hell out of me.
I don't understand. I mean, seriously, there are plenty of bands that I would deem not boring that I do not like.
Illogical.
Like Pearl Jam, I don't think is a boring band. I just don't like them.
Yeah.
But SuperTramp boring? In what regard are they boring?
They're boring to me. That's just to me.
But I mean, how?
I'm not going to say they're boring to everyone. I obviously they're not.
How are they boring? I just don't get it.
Or maybe it's
like one of their biggest albums is a live album, Mazzy. How are they boring?
I've never heard the live album. Okay.
Well, you should listen to it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, if I don't like the other albums, I think, it could be part of it. It's like trauma as a kid. Those albums were played so much in the 70s in record stores. And it's kind of like for 30 years, I couldn't listen to Rumors or Hotel California. 30 years. It's just like so overplayed. But I think those are great records.
Well, damn B.
I have me a UHQR, old UHQR Crime of the Century.
Yes.
It is fantastic.
Yeah,
It's a really well recorded record, isn't
It
it?
is so fucking good.
I have the Canadian audiophile one that I thought the Canadian audiophile one slightly better than the MoFi.
Okay, bring up
have.
Gren
Right.
Contact to his comment. That's kind of how I feel.
Well, wait, and how is it elevator music?
No, it might be, but it sounds good.
You
And
know,
how much
Rob,
time are you spending in an elevator? That's my question.
Rob, okay,
What?
yesterday I listened to that Omnivore Christopher Cross, okay?
All
and
right.
I realized I hadn't heard it probably since 1980.
Should you be recording this for your own channel that somehow it's converted you to a Christopher
No, I
Cross?
didn't say it's converted me. I have a dilemma with that. It sounded so good, and the music was so not what I want to listen to, if that makes any sense.
No, I listen, I get it.
It's yacht rock, which there's yacht rock that I like. And I remember, in fact, there's one song, and I don't know the names of the song. On side 2, all of a sudden I heard a song and I heard the production that, oh my God, that's the production that started in 1979 that ruined music in the 1980s.
Well,
you know exactly what I'm talking about, Jim, with that.
I'm not sure I do. Here's my thing. Maybe I do, but I love to make fun of Christopher Cross, but I have a really sharp memory of seeing him on TV or something live a long time ago and going, holy shit, this guy's really good.
He has a great voice. You know what was really funny too?
What does he play though? Isn't he a good
guitar player?
Yeah, he's a great guitar player, I think.
But that album came out in 1979. The opening track, you would have sworn
has that sound.
It was Fleetwood Mac. No, it was Fleetwood Mac Rumors, that first song. And it even has Nicolette Larson singing the harmonies that you would have Stevie Nicks or Springsteen sing. It's a Fleetwood Mac knockoff, the first track only. The drumming, the percussion, because this is 2 years after Rumors, right?
So,
and it's
the label probably fucked it up, man.
No, it's Michael Omartarian that he did a lot of that slick production type of stuff then. And it's also one of the first, it's the same year as Bop Do You Drop by Ry Cooder. It's a digital recording. One of the first massive all digital recordings, that album.
Zappa
I mean, I tell you, the Omnivore, if someone loves that record, it's a fucking great pressing and great version of it. So I'm going to give the kudos to the sound of the record. But remember, 1979, I was into punk and then post-punk. So Christopher Cross was way on the other side of shit I wanted to listen to.
So that's 2 albums.
Yeah.
The first album, they're using Bernie Grubman's mastering.
Okay.
The second album are demos that was remastered.
I haven't listened to the demos yet.
I kind of like the demo disc.
Well, I'll listen to that because I bet you they're more stripped down. I'll probably like them better too.
But there's 2 good songs on there as far as I'm concerned. That third, I don't know how many. Yeah, no, but Ride Like the Wind. That's a song. That's good.
Well, the
other head, Say You'll Be Mine. That's kind of
the cliche is the 2 songs where Michael McDonald chimes in on vocals. That's gotten, unfortunately, 40-year-old version totally wrecked Michael McDonald for everyone.
I wish I could imitate that sound. That would be great. Yeah, that'd be a really good one.
That sounds like Chad Casson doing Michael McDonald.
I know a lot of people, the solo Michael McDonald album, the first big album, somehow for some reason is polarizing, I think.
Oh, the other big announcement today.
Oh God.
4 LPs, no jacket required by Phil Collins, anniversary edition.
What?
Are you serial?
Yes.
Really?
Phil Collins is huge.
Wait. What is on the 4 LPs?
I should have kept the press release. I think I dumped it already. Didn't you get those? Hold on.
I'm not on Warner Brothers press releases.
What's not Warner? Well, it is. I guess it is.
It is Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I know it. It's Atlantic. Yeah, Atlantic. Oh yeah. I mean, maybe I could. It's 4 LP box set. Okay.
Yeah.
Includes a half-speed remaster of original album plus demos, live and rare performances. Blu-ray audio also with Dolby Atmos by Steven Wilson. 40th anniversary of Phil Collins' iconic diamond certified third solo album. No
Yeah.
Jack
The first, I'll say this: the first 2 solo albums are excellent. He has Earth, Wind, and Fire's horns on it.
Isn't this
Those
his
are
biggest
great.
one though? Isn't No
No
Jacket?
Jacket Required, I think, is the third one, isn't it?
But isn't it his biggest selling one?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, the
Are we
first
done
2
with
are
Brian
good.
Wilson? What happened to all the Brian Wilson talk?
It sold 25 million copies to date.
No one was talking about Brian Wilson till you just said it.
So Phil Collins.
Nice.
That's the
All
one
the
with
new-
Sudio.
On the
Sudio.
same day, we got ZZ Top, we got Phil Collins, we got The Final Conflict of Downton Abbey. We got
No, if you're going to talk about movies, the trailer dropped for Running Man. It actually looks really good, and I'm not a big Edgar Wright guy. I just feel like Baby Driver, I wanted it to be so good, and the third act fell apart for me. But this looks good.
But Shaun of the Dead is a great movie, and
and
the Sparks documentary, the Sparks brothers.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that's a love letter. There's no
The
drama.
Night in Soho. Didn't he do A Night in Soho?
Yeah, that was.
I love that movie.
That wasn't good. But I hope the Running Man's good.
I did start watching the first 2 episodes of the new season of Fubar. You know, what a piece of crap.
I didn't. I watched 1 episode of the first season and it didn't look good.
Well, I watched the first season, and it has Monica, who now is bigger because of Top Gun and because of the Dylan movie. She plays Joan Baez. It's just terrible. It's like a bad 70s TV show. Horrible.
I watched the first episode of Smoke.
Hot Fuzz. Scott Pilgrim. I agree. Herc.
A Scott Pilgrim again for me. It fell apart. He just for some reason he just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I want to see the Jane Mansfield documentary. I'll watch it soon. Yeah, that apparently when she was researching the Hargitay, she realized her real father was not Hargitay.
Okay, Dan B. It's not a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's a new movie based on the Stephen King book. There's a difference. It's not a remake. The source they're going to is not that movie, although that movie is excellent too.
Anyways, I told Rob before we got on, I saw 2 movies back to back, Saturday and Sunday. I saw 28 Years Later, which I loved, but it's a weird ending. Some people hate that ending. And then I saw F1, which is just what you expect it is. It's basically The Natural in cars. The old guy coming back to save the day because the team is losing. It's the same story, but it's excellently
shot. But Mazzy.
Yeah.
There's like 5 race car movies that it's probably more similar to than The Natural.
Oh, well, but I'm just saying it reminded me of that.
Have you seen Grand Prix?
Yeah, but the story, Robert Redford is the biggest star, and then he gets injured something, or he gets shot.
No. Actually, that's not the story of The Natural, Mazzy. Robert Redford was potentially going to become the biggest pitcher guy,
and he gets shot.
And he got shot.
Right.
So he never had he never was in the big.
Okay, but this is a similar type of thing. Something happens when he was younger, Brad Pitt, and then he comes back. The old guy, he's brought back in to save the day for this struggling F1 team.
Listen, you moron! Everyone knows what the Running Man's about. You don't have to crowbar me into a stupid joke. Thank you.
Oh God. Okay. No.
Well, okay. You're turning in late. I don't understand. Yeah, it's a race car movie.
TARDIS needs coffee.
Yeah. Gran Torino is not a racing movie. It's about an old guy who has a Gran Torino.
who
It's like he
goes
made
to-
3 movies in a row. Is he a drug mule in Gran Torino? He's a
Okay.
racist in Gran Torino.
So the other thing is, okay, 20 titles are announced for Elektra 75th anniversary vinyl releases. Titles available each Friday through July. And they are Afghan Wigs, Gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
Anita Baker, Rapture,
Yeah.
The Best of Bread.
I do like bread, but I'm not getting. You can get that Best of Bread.
I like that record. Unfortunately, it was done before Guitar Man, which is too bad. That's on Best of Bread too, I
That's
guess.
a good song.
Yeah. Grover Washington Jr., Wine Light.
That's the one with the big song on it. That's regarded as a good album.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Just the two of us with Bill Weather.
Keith Sweat or Sweet? Keith Sweet?
No, Keith Sweat
Keith
is
Sweat.
not your type of music.
It's kind of smooth jazz, right? Smooth pop.
No. It's pop, kind of
R&B, smooth
hip-hop
R&B.
pop. But he's a singer. He's not a rapper.
Yeah, I know he's a singer. Nancy Griffith, Other Voices. That's a big album. Public Images. This is what you want. This is what you get.
Was that their second album?
That's like their third, I think, or something. Super Drag, Respectfully Yours.
Yeah, they had one big song that was played all.
And of course, the Unnumbered Television and Stooges, Adventure and Stooges, both good albums.
So, but they did release the B-52s box too.
Third Eyed Blind.
You know, and
I'm not into them, but people like them. It's a 90s band.
Dun, 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 dun. You can hum that. You can't hum
I'm excited. I'm actually excited about this. This is Happy Sad by Tim Buckley. That's a good one. Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah, those are I think those are in demand.
And of course, you said the Cards and Television, the Rhino Hi-Fis, Unnumbered. What's this? Dylan, this is unreleased. No, various artists. Oh, it's a cover, Dylan Circle.
What now? It's a cover of Dylan songs?
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I think this is a good. I don't know if this was ever a CD or this might be a new comp. Love, the Elektra singles. Like My Little Red Book.
How many singles did they have?
Well, they had a bunch. I mean, they weren't all huge. They had I don't know. Little Red Book was probably their biggest. And then what is this? The Doors, Golden Doors. What a terrible cover art.
Yeah, for something called Golden Doors, why is it pink?
I know, that's terrible. Oh, Golden Doors 2 on purple vinyl with the edition includes a 7-inch single. Yeah, that's not a good that's terrible artwork. Has this been out before? I've never seen this.
I don't think so.
I've never seen it.
Well, okay. It's funny that they printed out this B-52s box.
Yeah.
But no B-52 vinyl.
It is a vinyl. It's a vinyl of the B-52s.
I thought it was just CD.
No, there's a vinyl box of it.
There's a vinyl box too?
It's not on here. It's not on this press release, but there is a vinyl version of it. Yeah, it does look like a crappy bootleg cover, Zeb.
Well, they're celebrating Elektra, but aren't there bigger Elektra albums than the ones you just showed?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's Love Forever Changes, which has been repressed. I mean, it has been repressed. There's and what actually Forever Changes wasn't even a big album at the time. It became big later on. Obviously, the Doors have already come out.
No, I meant more like
modern.
80s on.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think right now.
There's got to be.
There's got to be. Jose, I can't wait till you turn 30 or something.
Yeah, but the Cure was on, but it was the U.S. releasing here, right?
Yeah, the Cure.
They were.
Yeah.
It wasn't the original main
Cure
label.
has the Warner. I don't think has rights to the Cure catalog. It's the same with everybody wants I agree. Everybody wants the Smiths for this Rhino Hi-Fi, but to get the UK label, because that's Rough Trade, it's not the same. It's not the same in the UK. And to get Johnny Marr and Morrissey to agree on any fucking thing, good luck. I think Echo and the Bunnyman needs to be done, but also
there is an Echo and the Bunnyman.
No, I mean a Rhino Hi-Fi box. That would be the first 5 out.
I don't know if anyone's clamoring for that.
Oh, absolutely. It's in the. If you read the forums, that's one of them. Echo and the Bunnyman. Yeah.
I've seen Echo and the Bunnymen live.
They're great. Yeah, Cure was Sire, then Electra, then V and Fiction.
Yeah, but not the Cure's main label was not.
No, it was the UK. It was licensed. Yeah, so that's the thing. A lot of these albums that are UK centric, like Joy Division, that was Factory, and that came out. They could do Joy Division if they could.
I don't think Warner has the rights to the REM records anymore.
It does. Kraft has.
Kraft has them.
Kraft.
Right. So it's up to Kraft. It's up to Kraft.
Kraft has been putting them out. Yeah,
I know they put out one. I didn't know they put out others.
They put out a few. Yeah, over the lot, not all at once.
I'm more of an Echo than a Bunnyman.
Like the Christopher Cross was Warner's, but they don't have the rights to that.
People keep saying, Buckingham Nicks. I don't know who owns the rights because that was not Warner's. That's Polydor. So they may not have the rights unless Lindsey Buckingham retained the rights. He might have the rights and can go wherever he wants. And you'd think if he was going to do it, but apparently he doesn't want it out. Well, I don't know why. But if he wanted to, he could put it out. He could tell Rhino to put it out. I'm sure they'd love to.
He's doing a thing with his daughter, like social media, where they're watching stuff together.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor about.
Oh, they do have rights. Well, then maybe okay.
Who has rights?
He says Warner has rights to Buckingham. That's surprising because it was Polydor, unless it reverted back to Lindsey, and he's in the family.
How do you know this?
I don't know that. I'm just
Richard James. How do you know this? Richard James, respectfully, you don't come in here with facts. You come in here acting goofy.
He says,
how do you know this? How do you know?
He says Westman said it, or it was on one of the shows. Which I mean, I'm sure Westman hears it. What? Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, I like to say I said this on the Jazz Bums. I went to an event last week with Jim. That Blue Note did this thing with Joe Harley. It was an end store at a record store. It was nice meeting Joe and Kevin Gray, who I've met several times and remembers who I am. He was there. But they did make an announcement that in October they're putting out an Ike Quebec. He released a bunch of 45s on Blue Note, and it was done in a box by Mosaic. But it's coming out. They're doing a re-thing of it in October.
We have to help. We have to have Jose with his English because no way can a record look like ass. Okay, a box set look like ass.
You know what, Mazzy? We do have to do something with Jose. It's not what you said. We all need to chip in and send him to finishing school. Jose needs to go to finishing school.
I'm not interested in it that much, but I think that's actually for people who really like Joni Mitchell, that kind of curated jazz stuff is kind of cool. So
I just believe.
No, I know what it is. Google ass? I don't think so. Google Joni Mitchell box set. I've seen what it is.
Speaking of ass, didn't Harry show a record on his latest thing, something that he bought from LA, where the die cut when you remove all the paraphernalia? It's a Rolling Stones record where there's an ass. There's an actual photograph of a real.
I don't know
where the legs come together. Ass.
You
got to watch Harry. You got to watch Harry's video.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Rix, I certainly hope that Lindsay and Stevie had sex before they made that movie. At that age, they better have been having a lot of sex.
What movie did they make?
No, not the movie. They're talking about the photograph on the cover of Buckingham Nicks.
They met when they were young. They became.
Yeah, they met at Atherton, California, like on the peninsula, San Francisco.
Gosh, San Francisco. Give me a break.
Young, dumb, and full. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I
Ween
want
would be good.
I want to show some records I found since last time. Let me see if I can find them.
Ween records would be good. Didn't Ween do a few for Elektra Records? Was Ween on Elektra or we're on one of the Warner labels? I think that would be good.
I don't know. Okay, here's some records I found. Let me show them. Jazz Minute. Okay, I had a pretty good week. When we went to that event, I found this record, which is not easy to find. It's Rennie McLean, who's Jackie McLean's son. I only think he led a couple records. This is one of them. It's an excellent record. It came out on Steeplechase. I've actually never seen a Steeplechase version, but this is Inner City, who distributes Steeplechase in the U.S. Excellent record if you ever see it. Okay. Then I went into Jim's place, and he was playing this record, and I stole it from him.
Yes, you did.
But really, I actually found a Lightning Hopkins on our Hooli that's worth some money. And Jim goes, I want this record. Like, he's never done that. I want this record. So I traded him for this because I've never really seen this record. And Webster Young was a trumpet player from DC. He wasn't around much. Like, didn't record a lot, but he's introduced on this record.
This is an example of elder abuse. This is an example of elder abuse.
Well, you can go to hell with your elder abuse. Went to the record show in Orange County, and I found this nice Coleman Hawkins on a nice mono on Moodsville. This is a really good record and very clean. Very clean with Tommy Flanagan's on this. Okay. Then at the show, this is a very desirable record. This Sonny Fortune, long before our Mother's Creed on Strata East. This dude had a clean copy, and I didn't look at the back of it. I just looked at the record, and I talked the guy down, got it for a good price. Then I get home and see that Sonny Fortune signed it to Claudia. Isn't that cool? Very nice to have an autographed copy of this to Claudia. Okay. Then, although someone had asked me to find this record for them, and I told them, I'm not a fucking record store, but I found a mono copy of this very desirable Bobby Timmons Chung King. And you can tell the Prestige monos because they flip back the stereo on the cover to the back like that. So there's a mono, and then I get home to see the copy I have is stereo. And I didn't do a comparison.
So you have two orders of Chung. You have two orders of Chung King.
This is a very hard to find desirable record, but someone asked me to find a copy, so I'm gonna.
Do you get free egg roll with that?
Maz, you're racist as can be.
That's not racist. It's a restaurant joke. it's not.
And then to top off the weekend of finding records, I found an OG mono of this We 3 record on New Jazz for like cheap, because this is like a $300 record. Which
Can you hold it up to the light for Tim?
What?
Can you hold a flashlight behind?
I have no. I didn't find any QI. But this
get up
is
here, Tim. Wake up. Get out of bed. Take a break. Have some coffee.
Can I show what I found when we were distributing here?
Can't we let what I found just set and people take it in? Okay. What did you find? What did you find?
I found one of your left behinds.
Yeah. So you bought one classical record.
And this motherfucker sounds so good.
Yeah, because it's a blueback.
Yeah, it's the. I don't think
London blueback, but
I don't think I have any of these.
How many classical records do you have?
Oh, 50 or 60 or 70. Anyway, then I found this too. This is sealed.
Nice.
Yeah, sealed. And it's got that hype sticker on it right there. and
Is that
it's
from-
sealed.
Is that from Record Safari?
Yeah, and I have 2 of these, but neither one of them have that hype sticker. So
Yeah, I don't think I have that record. My birthday's coming up. I
it's
don't
a
think I have.
great record. It's really good.
Yeah.
I saw this shit performed at the Hollywood Bowl, and Frank got booed because he didn't play guitar. It was awesome. And that Schubert is so good.
You know, I think things are getting boring around here. I think we have to start seeing other people. I think
We're boring, but the Peanut Gallery is fantastic.
Yeah, the peanut gallery is
This show would
on fire.
suck ass if it wasn't for the peanuts.
Yeah, suck ass.
And
get
if I could just imitate Jose.
Jose, yes.
Hey,
Jose.
Eddie says the one record you have is $100 record. I've had that record and sold it. Classical records, that I think you could sell for maybe $25. He bought it for $26. That place prices them high.
You know, I'm gonna actually do a shout out and a compliment to Jose, because he brings everything. When all the live streams that he's on, or the one he's on weekly, and a few of them, he brings a reality to those live streams where people aren't, you know, they're always bitching about cash grabs and this and that, and bitching about everything. And you know, he's got there's a realism with Jose that I seriously, even though I mock and like he mocks me, I mock him, I appreciate him.
So can I say something else about this record? I originally put this on my system with my 2 Harbeth P3 SRs, which are tiny little speakers. And it sounded like shit, man. It just wasn't happening. So then I put the Legacies up, which aren't that big, but they are much bigger.
Every fucking time I go into that room,
it's just the whole thing.
every fucking time I go into that room, his system is set up differently. He is never satisfied.
I have
Mazzy, when was the last time you rearranged your system?
Actually, last weekend I readjusted my speaker position. I didn't readjust the whole system.
He changes out equipment like a irrational baby.
like an irrational baby.
Happy Canada Day.
Oh yeah, Canuck skis.
Can you help us here in America? We need help.
Oh no, we're gonna take over Canada.
We're about to
state, motherfuckers. Wait till your health care goes bye bye.
Well, that's gonna, like, a lot of people are gonna lose Medicaid.
Anyway,
and healthcare.
Well, Herc,
I'll take voice of the theater. Yeah, Dan B. That would be something else. But my room is so small.
I picked up like 20 classical records last week. I just don't think anyone gives a rat's ass around here.
We're here to cheer for the gear. That's right. Steve Park, who like rebuilds turntables and shit.
Oh, wait. Jim picked up a turntable,
Oh, yeah.
and I think you got it for free, right?
Hey, Chuck T, it's not just illegals that are losing it, believe me.
So wait, Jim got a dual turntable.
Yeah, someone gave me. I walked into a record store and they handed me
which dual?
Dual 1219, I think it is.
Oh, I have the CS 5000 downstairs.
I don't know. Anyway,
Did
pretty
you
cool.
Playing it?
No, I'm just starting distribution right now, so I'm trying to get the papers out as quickly as possible. So I got to go grab another tranche in El Monte today. Oh, anyone see the Rick Beato thing about the AI song? AI generated song with like millions of.
Well, I'm starting to feel the way Jose feels about Rick Beato, because I heard information about him that I don't know if I can share publicly.
Uh-oh.
Yes. And it's nothing.
Rick Beato stepped on a lot of.
It's not like something salacious, but it's something that he actively does that I find disgusting.
How can you say that and hang out with like me and Mazzy?
because you don't charge me to hang out with you.
You know, I Waxed. I know you shared that with me, but until we hear a second source, I'm not going to believe it. Not that I don't trust the source.
Hold on. The main source is a very reliable.
I understand that, but it seems odd to me, like it was a fake out. Not that the person we know is a fake out.
No, it makes all the sense.
Well, it does make sense, but
it's not like Rick Beato stays youthful by eating baby blood or drinking it. That's not what it is, but it is a practice that goes against everything that he's had success at being. Do you know what I mean?
Novus Nick has a 1219. All right, I'm going to get this.
They're good table. There used to be a guy. It's called? I remember reading on the forums a lot, but I don't think he's around anymore. But he was the dual guy in the country, and he would refurbish dual turntables. That was his specialty.
Elliot Cruz does that.
Well, but no offense to Elliot. Maybe Elliot's good, but there was this guy. That was his thing, and he had all the parts, and he had extra parts, and all the everything.
There's a guy up in New England who does AR turntables and all kinds of shit. Very famous cat, but
mine's still in
very
good shape. I should get a new cart for it.
I'll tell you one thing. When I was looking into getting a true turntable,
Fix My Dual. That's the guy.
The duals look pretty cool. They're a cool looking turntable.
Herc is he still around? It's Fix My Dual was his company or his name. Is he still around, Herc? Do you know? I heard he
maybe okay, but I don't want to ship it anywhere. It scares me. There's no way I want to ship it.
What if he's in LA?
Then I would take it to him.
I don't think he is. Those guys are like in
where's
small towns.
Here, guess what this is? Time's up.
6 grams of coke. 10 grams, a pound of coke.
Yeah, more like
explosives.
More like ounces of coke.
Your new iPhone?
No, this is the potentiometer. The volume.
Oh, dude, take it down. It has your. Dude, do you understand what you're doing?
Oh yeah, my address. Well, my address is kind of in the newspaper anyway, but it's on every box I send out.
All right, dude, just take the label off.
I got my thumb over it. It's in Sun Valley, California. Anyway, that's the potentiometer.
Why don't you take it out of the box and show it? Don't show the box.
Because I don't want to do that. I'm taking it to the repair guy. It's just a volume pot. But yeah, it's for my Harman Kardon.
Wait. Hold on. Breaking news. Rix, you're 63? It's like every comment you make sounds like it comes from a whippersnapper.
I don't understand why people who are into music stop listening to music at a certain time. I always kind of joke with Harry about that, about new music past 1980.
Okay, I don't know Rick Beato's. I don't know Rick Beato's demographics, but I have to think they're probably in line with an elderly man yelling about shit. But he really, I don't know if he really gets his success. Well, let's talk to a man who yells about shit. What's up, Harry?
I like Beato's take on music.
I'm still on California time.
Yeah.
That's exactly a joke,
it's funny.
Oh yeah, that preamp I watch. I'm sorry, Poetry. I watched your video. It's a little bit over my pay grade right now. But yeah, that looked very interesting. But yeah, my Conrad Johnson.
Okay, since Harry's here and newcomers, it's been 45 minutes now. Should we recap the first 45 minutes? Please. There's a new Final Conflict Downton Abbey film coming out.
Harry's not Downton Abbey.
A ZZ box number 2, a Rhino Hi-Fi ZZ box number 2 coming out today. There's a 4 LP, no jacket required Phil Collins box announced for the fall. what else is announced? There's some Rhino
was a-
Electra 75, not Rhino,
Didn't
but
Springsteen put something out?
yeah, that was last week though.
Yeah.
Last week.
That was
That's
so
ex-
last week.
Excellent.
This week. This is so this week. It's not even out on the streets yet in most parts of the United States
Wow.
of America.
Very
Neither is Brian.
I have them all. And look, and that's going to go. This baby's going to go fast. Talk about FOMO. Holy cow! You better get out and get this one before it's gone.
Wait, you decided? Hold on, Jim. I'm trying to conspiracy theory this. When was the decision made to put Brian Wilson on the cover?
As soon as we heard he was dying. I mean, as soon as we heard he was dead.
You made the decision before he died, right? Yes.
No, I had Zappa on the cover because of the.
No,
the TV
answer the
stuff.
question. Stop evading the question.
No, we made the
that's how
decision
bad.
after he died.
That's how much that Brian didn't want Zappa on the cover so bad that he died.
He croaked himself. But it's the same PR people, so it was an easy switch. They were happy to accommodate us with
And
this
you probably
awesome
had the
photo,
article
man.
already written.
This is great. Who did this? Where did we get that from? Capital Photo Archives. Thank you, Capital Photo Archives.
Okay. I got a question, and I don't think you can answer, but you would understand the question, Jim. As a former but still photo agent myself for 4 decades almost.
Yes.
How the fuck?
Brag about yourself, Mazzy. You don't do it.
No, I'm just saying where I'm coming from because I know about licensing and copyright and all that stuff.
I've never heard
how
of
the
that.
fuck? I'm going to say it again.
Soylent Green.
How the fuck did Michael Oakes get the rights to everybody's photographs from the archives and copyright them and own them and able to license them out from, you know what I'm talking about, the Michael Oakes archive? I think it's sold now to Getty, maybe. I'm not sure, but
No, Getty owns everything.
But Michael Oakes is the brother of Phil Oakes, the folk singer, and he had the biggest music archive ever, and for decades. And you'd always see on things on record covers or packages and magazines of Michael Oakes archives. But these are from other photographers, other labels. It's just like he found them in a drawer over years and he collected them. How did he get them?
Paid him. He bought them.
Amazing. And he must have paid cheap for them when people, when they were cheap.
Yeah.
Think of all the pictures Henry Diltz owns.
Well, of course. Well, that's like Jim Marshall estate too. Jim Marshall's the same way. And there's a lot of those photographers, went semi-starving for decades until the whole revival of CDs, and then now the boomers and fine art prints and reissues and things. Henry Diltz, Jim Marshall, Norman Seeff, who did the Joni Mitchell stuff also. You know who's super cool, dude? Henry Diltz. Yeah, Joe Bernstein as well.
Oh, you met me.
Henry Diltz is the coolest cat on the planet.
Matt, you have a lot of positive things about you, Harry. Being cool is not one of them.
Harry's on the list. He's on the Beatles.
No, Dan B. It's not jealousy. It's just what it takes to pay all those things off, because it's amazing that he acquired all that stuff.
Hey, Steve Westman now has a schedule of a TV weatherman. He had to get up at 3 a.m. to prepare for a live stream.
So let's say you're the LA Weekly and you hire a photographer to go take a bunch of pictures for your newspaper. LA Weekly has copyright on those pictures.
No, wrong.
They paid the photographer to take the pictures.
No.
Wait. Is the photographer Is the photographer?
Matt,
is he an employee?
Everyone,
he's an employee.
He is an employee.
Gets a paycheck.
Well, if he is an employee and you're paying his taxes and insurance and all, yes, that is true. If he's a freelancer, no.
No, the LA Weekly had a staff photographer.
Okay, that's different. You're right.
He took a great picture of Miles. He took a phenomenal picture of Miles Davis. It was on the cover of our paper.
Yeah.
I wonder who owns that. I wonder where that stuff like that is. Stuff like that was probably acquired by somebody for nothing.
Exactly. Okay, well, it could be the case. But a lot of this stuff are things that were in the Capitol archives or the Warner Brothers archives. I just don't know how Warner Brothers was able to do it. Like all those photographs, whether it's Jim Marshall or Henry Diltz or Norman Seeff or Joel Bernstein, who did stuff for the record companies, those were owned by the photographers, not the labels. Okay.
Hey, hold on.
Wait, but a lot of times you look at the old Capitol stuff on the very back, it says from the Capitol Photo Studio. Those would be Capitol employees.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Kimbo, you're the one trying to sell 8x10s of your driver's license photo. So what are you talking about?
There's a guy in what's that town in Southern Oregon that's so cute?
The guy or the town?
Auburn. There's a guy in Auburn who's got I think a record store, but he also he's a new guy.
Not Ashland. You're thinking Ashland?
Ashland, I mean Ashland.
Yeah, the Shakespeare Festival place.
This guy found like you're saying, a box of some famous photographer's shit. And he made a deal with the family. He made a licensing deal with the family.
That's different. Yeah.
Well, they just found rolls and rolls of pictures. San Francisco, I think, and they don't know who took the pictures.
Right. And most of they were unprocessed too. That's even amazing. From 1966, 78.
Music involved.
Speaking of which, go see the movie Kodachrome if you haven't seen it. It's about a guy doing a road trip with his father to get film developed at the last place.
Where do we go? Where do we go to see it?
Stream it.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
thanks for coming into this century.
We didn't bring up. It's been brought up in the Peanut Gallery about the Funkadelic albums, and we know In Groove is doing a limited.
Well, no, hold on about the In Groove. So here's what's happening: the org. The reissue company, who does an excellent job, is reissuing the Westbound Funkadelic catalog, and they announced the first album they're releasing, and then Mike, better than org could explain it because they didn't. Mike in his video announcing it because he has color variant exclusives on the 45 version. Explained the best I've ever heard a company explain why they choose to do 45 over 33 analog. Did you hear that explanation, Matt?
I did, but the part I don't understand, that makes sense. But why not do the 33 also analog?
Hold on. So
I heard him.
So In Groove did a standalone video where he announces that he's going to have color variants of the
store. I think the Dusty Groove is having a color variant too.
Well, no, they're having a 33 color variant.
No,
so Mike explained it in his video that for the 45, he's very surprised that he's the only one who asked to do a color variant. So he's going to do a color variant of the 45 version of the whole run. And the reason that org said they're only doing the 45 as analog is because, and then they're doing 33 and CD. The 33 will be made from files. The reason is one side of one of the records is like 25 minutes, and they felt they had audio issues with an analog source for the 33. It wasn't going to sound right. So that was their decision to only do analog for the 45.
That's how it originally came out as a 33. So it's
I understand, but that was their decision. Usually your rumors were contractually they could only do 45.
He's doing an orange version, Herc. He's doing an orange version.
Orange. But he'll have the black version.
I don't think I'm going to get the 45. I'm getting rid of my 45.
When did you, novice, like, when did the fuck did you become the Funkadelic expert? There's nothing Funkadelic about you.
Here, this is what I like about Parliament. So I have 2 copies of Mothership Connection. Both of them are the owner's name is on them in the same place. That one there, I don't know what this is. Mac Innes and Brenda.
Now that, I think, isn't that the one that MoFi is putting out as a double 45?
So MoFi is, but that's a Warner Brothers title, right?
Yes.
So
anyway,
so MoFi is putting out Mothership as a 45.
I've got a really good.
Hold on, Captain Spaulding. The only reason it's making you wet is because your records were already wet. From the last I heard, where you stored them, there was a drip.
Or flood? Oh shit!
Okay, I want to talk about. I picked this DVD up.
All right, change.
Shark
I watched like 5 minutes of it. I didn't get it. I turned it off. I didn't get it.
Is that a
That's
joke?
not even funny.
No, I watched it. Kind of dated. You could. It was
How-
very
wait.
predictable.
Takes
Very
place in the,
predictable.
takes
What's
place
dated
in-
about?
It takes
Predictable?
place in the 60s, dude. It is
What?
dated.
Predictable? It's the
Well, I
least-
don't watch a lot of new movies, so
You didn't like the nudity? Is
You're gonna
that
get
it?
drafted.
you
You're
knew
gonna get
as soon as
drafted.
he got the little hammer, you knew what he was going to do.
Hey, hold on. Can I request that every show now we have Harry's movie minute?
It was okay. You know, yeah, it was okay.
It was okay. It was all right.
I tested it. It was okay.
The problem is you didn't get the Blu-ray. You got the DVD.
Hey, when's
right.
concert here?
Pardon me?
Nothing.
What, Jim? Didn't talk with
Concert's
your mouth
coming to
full.
LA. I am. Concert Buddy's coming to LA.
Yeah, but I might not be in town. Sorry, Chance.
Perfect
But-
chance.
Or they're releasing
Good
all.
timing,
the
Rob.
They're putting out all the records. They've been putting out not the OJs. The what's the naked woman on every cover on Honey? What band is that?
Ohio, the
Ohio
Ohio.
Players.
Ohio players.
Right.
Yeah.
They're doing all those too.
Those are good albums.
They are. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're doing all those.
Mothership brings back memories. Is that what Steve had to say? I think Brenda, the person who signed my copy of Mothership, was hot. Brenda was hot.
She probably
Brenda
wasn't.
K-Star.
I have a really nice article by the engineer on that record, Mothership Connection, and Maggot Brain.
Hey, Barry,
Nice.
Barry, Arrow is a UK company. So if we order it here, I don't think they make the versions to be released worldwide. They have the European rights or something, or the UK rights.
Yeah, Concert Buddies. He's got timing.
But he's only coming for a very short visit,
That's all you
I
need.
think.
That's what she said.
So
Yeah, Chauncey will arrange for me to drive everyone around. Chauncey. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. This is.
this is what. Say something. Bring up another stupid topic, Mazzy. We'll talk about it.
Let's see.
Got
We have another
Russell,
80 something degree day today in Seattle. Beautiful, warm, hot weather.
could be hot as shit here in Sun Valley.
We don't have
California.
more people are getting air conditioning here. I have a unit I got to bring upstairs finally for the season.
Crazy, man.
They
It's getting
built a
hot.
new house, fairly new house, and they didn't put AC in it.
This is 1984.
Hmm.
And
We
in
put
84,
central air,
this was the low rent area of Seattle, South Seattle, with all the immigrants and people of color. So they
all
just
the
did
people,
shitty.
California coming up.
Yeah,
Come to the beach. It's cool down here at the beach.
yeah.
It's gonna be a Jillian out here in San Fernando Valley.
Well, today's not so bad. It's going to hit 82 today, and then the 70s. So we got a nice week, nice weather.
I got zucchinis growing like I got a dozen zucchinis on one plant out there. It's massive.
Nice.
You like long cylindrical vegetables, right?
Wait,
Well,
wait,
I like me some
like
fresh
zucchini bread.
This can't be right. ELO is touring without Jeff Lynne. I don't kind of believe
Well,
it.
who
he's
owns the
doing
rights
his-
to the
He's
name?
doing his final tour, I thought.
I
right?
love
But
my
he's
ELO.
in it. He's in it.
He's in it.
Yeah,
It's called
well,
Jeff Lynne's ELO, I think
Rick-
contractually. what he
Rick's
gets
is saying that it's
Look, you're 63. I don't think you know
Jeff
any better.
Lynne is in it this time. It's his final one.
He's final tour.
He's been the only one left. He's the only one
I
left.
have a question for Harry. Harry, when you produce so much zucchini, what do you do with it?
Zucchini bread, baby.
Bread. And fried zucchini.
Yeah, but do you freeze it?
No, I just make whatever I'm going to make, and if I have anything left over, I'll give it. I mean, I'll give it to neighbors or whoever wants them. You want one? I'll send you one.
I can't grow tomatoes anymore.
Hey, Danny, I have a question for you, Danny Allen. Danny Allen lives in Virginia, so I'm going back to visit, and one thing I want to do is I heard they're opening up a Buc-ee's in Virginia. Danny, have you heard about this? I heard it's just south of Harrisonburg, and I want to go visit the Buc-ee's because I haven't been to one.
I just ate 2 bags of Buc-ee's beaver balls. I just ate 2 bags of beaver nuts.
Thanks. Thanks for not offering some to me.
I ate them both. And actually, the stuff on the bottom that you get, the crumbs, I put on ice cream. Buc-ee's.
Yes. Danny Allen, let me know if you heard my question. Hold on. I wish you could make a viral video, Chris Record Talk. It's quite liberating when you viral video.
So Jeff Lynne is in Jeff Lynne's ELO, not ELO, according to Google.
That
What?
sounds.
I smell discord.
He would do a cease and desist in a minute if there was an ELO without him.
So, Danny, are you planning on going?
Oh, shit. Be right back. I get my painters here.
By the way, VCU signed a top 100 player for next season, next year.
Great.
We have a good team this year.
Do they have a good mascot?
It's a good mascot, but I'm telling you, our original mascot, they wish they kept that. Danny, report back on how it is. Because I'm going to go visit it when I go back. It's probably like a 2-hour trip, though.
Oh man.
What's the matter, Mazzy? Did you wake up too early today?
Okay, I'll show these, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to show them anyway.
Hold on.
These are some of the upcoming.
It's
OJC.
Gravy Train record. So that looking ahead record, I want to get. I will get that.
Yeah,
I've
only listened to this.
I have a 70s pressing of that.
It's good, and it's surprisingly good. And the biggest thing this is the only thing that Harry will understand that I show this, because it's the Beatles VJ label.
Nice.
Right? 1960, so pre-Beatles.
Show that label again. See, that's an authentic one because the title and the artist are both below the spindle hole.
Right. Well, this is
Is that how you tell if
Beatle people will get that?
That's how you tell if it's a bootleg.
If it's
These
a
are
bootleg,
Kevin Gray cuts.
and the
Maybe
artist
Kevin Gray should cut.
Maybe
Kevin Gray should cut introducing the Beatles. That would be something, wouldn't it, for Record Store Day?
Whoever. So,
something.
Mazzy, here's a question for you.
Something.
Obviously, VJ is owned by Kraft now, right?
Yes, because
They have no connection to any Beatles album.
Oh no. Because VJ lost the Beatles 6 months after Capitol got him in January, whatever. So later in '64, they had to get rid of. They couldn't put any more Beatles. That's why they kept putting different covers on, introducing the Beatles, changing the format if it's a track.
Question: Why did Capitol have the rights to "P.S. I Love You" and what was it, "Love Me Do"? But not the other songs.
I don't know exactly. I think it's because whatever the agreement made VJ. See, we all know Capitol passed on the Beatles. They had, first refusal, and they said we don't get it, whatever. So VJ and then Swan which I think was maybe a division of, I don't know, whatever.
Tolly and so many of them.
All that stuff. So VJ bought a package of songs and records, and I don't even know. I don't remember the list anymore. And
But there was two songs that Capitol said they had the rights to.
Right. And well, I guess those weren't in the original agreement with VJ. And then once Capitol got him and put out "I Want to Hold Your Hand" and "Meet the Beatles," and they broke big, obviously in a rush, because VJ was losing money. They were doing jazz and R&B. By that point, they weren't doing well. But the Beatles, what a big cash cow that was, coming in for 6-8 months. And
all those counterfeits that came out were actually pressed by VJ.
Were they?
The majority of them.
Would you stop with the Oinkster propaganda on my live stream?
Rob has, whatever.
The 87 Beatles CDs did sound good, Rick.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Hey, we should do it like it's a countdown. T-minus 16 days to the Beatles box.
Is what a restaurant?
No, it's not. It's like 20. It's the 28th, isn't it?
I thought it was the 17th of July.
I think it's the 20. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought it was the 28th. So that would be 28 days.
Hold on.
28 days later.
Hold on. Let me see this.
So is the Springsteen box selling out? From what I'm hearing, is back ordered a lot of places.
I think it's going to eventually sell out. Yes, it's expensive. Okay. But I got it through Amazon, and after the fact, I got a $30 credit or $30 refund because it went down to $298 or $297. So I got it for under $300. Plus, I had a $30 credit for something else. So
how much was the box?
$350, but I got it for $299.
And how is it?
It's great, but it's there's the 5 proper albums. Tomorrow you can watch my ranking. I did a ranking video of the albums.
It's amazing though that he sat on these for 30 years.
Well, if you just
I
listen,
understand his reasoning, but
yeah. But and also there's going to be tracks 3. I don't think they should have called it tracks because
I agree.
The Lost album, the subtitle is better. Except
okay,
for
Mazzy, here says my order is supposed to ship the 18th.
Oh, okay, then I'm wrong. Okay, so 18 days.
Everyone, Mazzy's wrong.
I'm wrong.
Noted in your Mazzy card.
I knew there was an 8 in the number. I'm wrong. Okay, what do you want from me, Bob?
Where do the Beatles ship their stuff from in the U.S.?
Well, it's UMG, so wherever. Universal's got a couple of
LA,
different.
I think.
They have a couple of different distribution hubs. I don't know.
Can I show my pig?
No.
Come on, man. There's the pigs.
Wait,
sleeping.
It seems pretty odd.
And
Jim.
that's the pig sleeping in the sun. And what are we looking at, Rob?
Is it sizzling bacon?
Bung.
Oh, so a couple things to go over with Jim. First of all, he mentioned a place called the Oinkster. Then he shows his pig. You put the connection there.
And so we recently had pork shoulder.
Jim and I went to a hot pot place. If you don't know hot pot, it's where they bring you out the meats and they give you boiling broth to cook it in. And they had calamari. All of a sudden, Jim decides to go on a rant that he read an article that a lot of restaurant calamari is really pig anus. Bung.
Bung. And,
it wouldn't stop. It was like an uncontrollable fixation on pig anus.
Well, you kept asking, why won't I have calamari? And I said, well, I'm not.
I mean, that is not a fear.
Besides the point that it tastes bad, it's chewy.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, they both are.
If calamari's done correctly.
I don't know about the other one, but I've had calamari.
It's cooked properly. It's not chewy.
Never had pig anus.
Hold on.
You don't know.
Harry, have you eaten a hot dog in this calendar year?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's in hot dogs?
Well, it's
all the stuff left over.
It's rodent feces, not bung. Get it together, Rob.
Hey, Rex. you're a confused 63-year-old.
Rob,
Obviously, you're not a fan of me because I've explained what the boomer scalper is about, and this
Hey,
is a stupid, horrible comment.
Rob, have
Winston
you had
Boogie.
meatloaf in the last month?
Winston, have I heard anything? I've heard a lot of things. What are you asking me?
Don't
Have I
mention
heard anything?
meatloaf.
What are you asking me, Mr. Boogie?
Joey's correct. What are you
really? Come on. No.
What are you-
Nobody's asking me.
What are you asking? Where's
You're doing
Barry?
a comment. If it's out of context, I don't know. We've been talking about 6 different things. What are you asking me?
Wait,
I can-
is any
Jim,
of
what
the
do you
Beatles?
feed your
Hold
pig?
on. Is any
Oh.
of the Beatles available in mono on streaming? Does anyone know that?
I wonder the Capital Box, maybe. I'm not sure though.
Probably.
I don't know.
And Harry, the answer is very little, not enough. We starve it. That's how it stays small. But there is pig food.
You know, streaming to me doesn't matter with whatever mix and stuff. And in my car, I have Apple Music. If I say play a Beatle record, which I rarely do, but if I do, it plays whatever the song is. And I'm not worried about it's this mix or that mix. It's just the music of
Stupid.
that. It's not, oh God, it's not the one I heard when I was 13.
I'm looking at your shirt right now. Yeah.
I don't give a shit at that point. Right.
Can you buy
I
those?
read-
It's the music stupid shirts still.
Yeah, but I might want to switch. That company hasn't been servicing customers
You've been
very
that
well.
for 6 months, Mazzy. Get it together. Make a move.
Azzy, what'd
Well,
you
I
buy?
said-
What'd you buy at the Sub Pop sale?
I bought 5 Iron and Wine LPs because they're $10, and I like that music. I have a few on CD, and it just for $10. I bought I should have bought 12 CDs. I bought 8, which is ridiculous because they were
Where-
12 for $10.
So where was this at, Mazzy?
At the Sub Pop / Light in the Attic warehouse over in Georgetown. And I bought like a Green River, a couple of CDs. I bought a couple of reggae comp CDs. I got, I forgot some other CDs.
Did you get any T-shirts?
Nah. I have
No.
so many friggin' t-shirts. I
Does
didn't buy-
Sub Pop have a retail outlet now still?
The store at the airport.
the airport's the biggest store.
KEXP.
They have a
No.
tiny store across from the Spheres, the Amazon Bezos balls.
Right.
And they just took over, I think it's only to the end of the year, the pop-up where Light in the Attic closed in the KEXP public space. There's a
The
Sub
Sub
Pop.
Pop's there now.
Yeah, but I think that's only till the end of the year. But I heard that Easy Street wanted to take that spot. So maybe after this, Easy Street will do a pop-up.
That
there.
would be smart.
Yeah, because they could, they got to have new and used. And
Sub Pop's cool because they save me about $100 a year because they don't want my newspaper. So I don't ship it to them.
Who doesn't want it?
Sub Pop. I was sending it to not to the airport, but the other place. They asked for it, then they said, no, we don't want it. So I take that 100 and I don't buy Sub Pop records.
yeah, the Shepherd's Dog is a good. The thing about Iron and Wine, as much as I like that guy, and I saw him once open up for Calexico, and I have the albums with Calexico that he did. It's almost all the same. There's that kind of twee sound to him. I like it, but it's that very kind of easy, soft. It'd be in every kind of like rom-com movie. Iron and Wine, but it's good stuff, and those records sound excellent. And for $10, I mean, if I was a flipper, I could flip them, but I'm not.
You are.
Well, I do my own auctions from now. I'm going to do probably in a couple of weeks. I'll do another whatnot for my
I
catalog.
think I'm going to do an auction probably maybe a week from Saturday, maybe 2 weeks.
I thought about on the 4th and 5th, Whatnot is offering a thing instead of their 12% or whatever it is. It's 4% if you do an auction on the 4th or 5th. They take only 4%. So
Whoa.
Now, can I ask a question?
You just did.
Time's up. Next.
Well, are record stores open on the 4th of July?
some are.
Some
Yeah.
are.
Is it
Yeah.
traditionally? Because I think Joey Callio's in town, and he's only free on the 4th.
Well, does he want to go to record stores?
Of course he
want
does.
to go to a barbecue?
Yes, he wants to go record shopping. He's
And
in
he's
LA.
watching this later, not now. He's
Take
watching.
him to Bagatelle, best store I've ever been in. Jeez.
The
Man,
Disney collection. I'm not selling anymore.
Yeah, Bag of Smell is good. Here's
Bagatelle.
No,
Do not go there.
Harry was being sarcastic.
here. Freak Beat's having a sale. Freak Beat's having their, twice a year they have a big giant.
Oh,
sale.
wait. Here we are. Here's a secret listener.
We are all
Hey,
free on
Hey,
the floor.
Dylan. So I liked your video you did where you suggested records that are affordable that people don't know about. So one record you mentioned was the Gail McCormick record, right? But you didn't say she was the singer from the band Smith. I think people know that. Me is not a big expert on that.
Smith that did Baby It's You, that's her.
Yes, and she put out. So Dylan,
Didn't they do the weight? And,
hey, listen,
Easy
Dylan
Riders?
needs help. Go watch
Yeah.
this video he did where he mentions like 4 or 5 rock records. I think mostly. No, they're different kinds. But he says they're affordable to get. And in his world, affordable means like maybe under $30.
Does this mean that Noble Records is open on the 4th? Are you open? Not that I'm anywhere near there, but are they open on the 4th?
I don't know. I don't know if he's open on the 4th. I want to go record shopping all the time, so stay open. But go watch that video. The Gail McCormick record is really good, and it's sad. It's sad that she got out of performing. She became a normal person, and then
Dylan needs a wrench.
died a little young. Huh?
He needs a wrench.
He says they're always open. Okay, let me go wrench people. I'll wrench them.
Rick's, I'm trying to find a picture.
There you go. You're wrenched. You're allowed
A
to come.
painter's here.
I've been to Katz's. I've never been to Langer's. I don't know.
Oh,
Eddie.
Harry. That's a mistake. Next time you come here, we have to go to Langer's.
Hey,
If you
Rick's-
come to LA, it's a required visit to Langer's. The best
Well,
pizza I've ever
Rick's
eaten.
You
just
took me to a
mentioned-
pizza pie restaurant.
Rick's just mentioned Maggie Bell. This is when this album came out. It's above us. I'm the guy on the right. I'm the guy with the red shirt. But there's the Maggie Bell album above.
Where?
That's hanging above us. That I forgot the name of that album. And that's me with the Peter Frampton haircut there. The red shirt.
That's not a Peter Frampton haircut, Mazzy.
Well, whatever. It's a Pat Metheny haircut. I don't know.
It's not them. It's
Whatever. It's
No,
the haircut I had.
Oh, wait. Well, here's what that haircut is, Mazzy.
It's a finger in the dike haircut.
Yeah. Harry, shut up. After you took this picture, Mazzy, did you go stick your finger in a dike?
I didn't take the picture, but I remember that because that Maggie
His
Bell.
response is, I didn't take the picture.
This is around 1975 or 4, whenever that album came out. 5 maybe.
Well,
I don't remember.
hey, is Tom Rashawn in the Peanut Gallery? Can Tom, if you're around, can you say something? Because I want to show something.
That's I like that. Okay, this is the record store that I managed for a while. It used to be a Bank of America building, and there was a mezzanine with a used record shop and a vault. We used to go down in the vault and take drugs. And it had these great murals, stained glass windows of nude women on the, kind of like a classic. It'd be really beautiful. That was a cool spot. Record
Yeah,
Factory.
that was a Joyce DeWitt haircut. Hey, Dylan, OG Mono. Found that this weekend. Pretty cool. Where'd Harry go?
I'm right here. You never know. I'm always around.
All right. He's just pulling his pants up. He can't do that on camera.
It was a great store. It was
I was trimming my nose hair.
One
So
block from Golden Gate Park.
So there's a record store in LA where Tom Rashawn used to work, and they put up pictures
Oh, I've been to that
Eddie,
store.
I'm Eddie. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Is that Poobah's?
Yeah, Poobah. So there are pictures of him on the wall, and I took pictures. Sorry, Eddie. Someone asked me to find this for them privately, and I told them I'm not a fucking record store. And then, ironically, I found a copy. So I'm keeping the mono of it. I think the mono sounds better, but here's the cool thing about the monos of this Prestige. All they did was flip back the stereo cover to the back. But I'm
A
sorry,
lot of
Eddie.
them did that.
Eddie, if you ever show me show record, reach out to me. I want to do right by you, Eddie. So, but someone a while ago asked me to find a copy.
When did Rob the Wax become a nice guy?
I'm always a nice guy. You know what I said? You know what I said to this was funny with Joe Harley. So my first, I think, direct run-in with Joe Harley was I can't take credit. John Marino found me a copy of Duke Pearson's Sweet Honeybee. So Joe famously did a video. I think it was an interview with the Jazz Bums, but it might have been with someone else, where he said there are two albums they can't reissue. Grant Green's Oleo, because the tape is lost. And then Duke Pearson's Sweet Honeybee, because the tape is seized. It's caked or something, and they can't play it. So shortly after that video came out, I went to an event with Jim. I think the what's the big club in LA?
The Stork Club?
The
Playboy Club?
No.
The Whiskey?
The Whiskey was doing their 50th or 60th or something, and they did a record show in the parking lot. I went to it and actually found both those records. There's a Japanese Oleo that's analog, and I found Sweet Honeybee mono. And I told him that, and he goes, wow, that's cool. And he goes, but I said, do you remember that I found a 90s copy of Sweet Honeybee, and we didn't know if it was digital? And somehow we got to you, and you came into the chat, and we thought someone was impersonating you. He goes, I remember that. So that was a funny story.
So was it digital?
Yeah, from the 90s, yes. It was digital.
Okay.
Because what, Rick's now?
That was a nice event at Renault Groove. By far the best record store in Burbank, California.
Okay, listen, Rick's. I think it's because you're 63 years old you make these comments.
Oh, man.
Stepping on hashish? No. You step on blow, dude.
So I mentioned this last week. It was announced that Blue Note's opening up a club here in LA. But then someone said in Baltimore, the guy's opening up a Keystone Corner in Baltimore.
Wait, that's been open. He's opened. That was that's Todd Barkin. Todd Barkin's the guy that opened the Keystone Corner in San Francisco, owned it for years. He's had a club in Baltimore for years.
It's being called the Keystone Corner.
Yeah. That was the great place. It was right. The reason they called it the Keystone Corner, it's in North Beach, between North Beach and Chinatown. Across the alley is the Central District Police Station. And when they were kind of working on the club and getting it together, they kept seeing all these police cars coming out, and they started thinking of the Keystone Cops. So that's why they called it the Keystone Corner. There you go.
Hey, PB Thou, I think you got that from Jazz Bum Mike. You got the Howard McGee from Jazz Bum Mike. It's been there for years?
Baltimore Keystone has been there for years, yes.
Okay.
Because he moved way back to like 20 years ago. He moved or more.
Now, Mazzy, why you're such a fan and a screamer about how great San Francisco is? Why would anyone move from San Francisco to Baltimore?
Because probably, and I don't. This is off the record. Probably that Todd Barkin owed a lot of people a lot of money because club owners were famous not to pay artists.
So you go high to Baltimore?
No, I don't know if that's the case.
Listen, I grew up going to Baltimore all the time. Right. I believe if anyone knows the actor Ed Norton,
yes, he
was a billionaire before he even acted. His grandfather was a big giant developer. In fact, his grandfather started planned communities. Columbia, Maryland was like the first planned community where they didn't have churches and temples. They had interfaith centers. And he went in and to inner cities and redid. So he created the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, like redid it. And we would go there growing up, go to Orioles games.
Hey, Chuck T, when's the last time you walked around San Francisco? You know, people read the news and it's like when they say LA's on fire, it's like 3 blocks and people.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the deal. Here's the deal, because I had a family member reach out to me. Are you okay?
Yeah.
The riots. I mean, the fire. The fires got
the fire's
me, right?
different.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, I missed
So,
but hold on, Jim. But this riot nonsense was a part of a protest, a single protest, where troublemakers enter the protest to cause distraction so they can loot and pillage. There were troublemakers who torched 2 Waymo cars and threw things at the cops. That's what happened, guys.
Yeah.
LA wasn't in rambles. It didn't stop people from living their lives. There are 22 other million people here in LA that were not even closely affected.
They're all on the freeway at the same time.
Right. They were the traffic.
That's right.
That's true, Harry.
I mean, listen.
And they each have 2 cars at the same time.
Jim's Pigs Farts did more trouble than the riots in LA.
You know, it's going to be a real bummer, much worse than the downtown bullshit. The freaking 4th of July. Where do these people get professional fireworks?
They go down to Mexico.
They come to Seattle.
Hold on.
I
will say this.
They go to the tribe stores, right, Harry?
I mean,
Yeah,
we used to have Sizzlers, Twizzlers, Sparklers.
Oh, Sizzlers was good. I love their steak.
I like the Malibu chicken and
up
the
in the
salad
Pacific Northwest. All the tribes have their fireworks stands, and we're talking major shit. Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal with LA. If drive through downtown LA, it's like you're in Beirut. But one of the coolest things you can do is go to the coast. No matter where you are on the coast, LA, you can stand in one point and see every municipality along the South Bay light their fireworks. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Well,
I had a friend who once lived in a high-rise in Marina Del Rey. We sat on the balcony all night and just watched everyone set off their fireworks. It was really
15 years ago, the house across the street from me burned to the ground because fireworks landed.
I believe it. Yeah, fuck yeah.
And how did you light the fireworks?
We don't do fireworks. I don't. We know who did. It was the other house, but
Winston,
burned the house to the ground.
4 years ago, I saw that movie. What is it? The third in the trilogy, or the second? London is Burning. Did London totally burn down? I saw that movie. You know, the guy that did.
I mean, that's about
the White House.
Believe it or not, everyone.
I saw 28 days later. Is there a zombie apocalypse in London?
Hold on. Believe it or not, I have a Jewish mother, and when stuff happened in LA, she would call, "Are you okay? I heard on the news." And then one time there was a guy with a gun running around Santa Monica City College and shooting up, and it was national news. Like, it made the national news. And I talked to my mom that week, and I go, "Why didn't you call?" "About what?" "There was a guy like in my area."
You know, this is it. Every big city in red and blue states has neighborhoods that are fucked up. It's just what a city,
It's not just the fucked up neighborhoods, Mazzy. Like, there's a horrible thing that happened in Idaho yesterday.
But I'm talking about like someone said, pooping on there's a homeless drug population in San Francisco and Seattle, in Canada, Gastown.
They're everywhere.
Gastown in Vancouver, it looks like a zombie apocalypse.
Man.
And that's
very terrible.
It's the drug thing is horrible, but it's also happening in rural areas. I bet you those of you who live in rural areas, there are tweakers, making meth and doing shit and doing other drugs. The drug thing is terrible. So
hills have eyes, dude.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. What just happened in Idaho? That asshole.
Patrick in Sweden. Do you have traffic in Sweden?
God. You know,
Yeah, but it doesn't take them 90 minutes to go 31 fucking
hey,
miles.
Patrick, San Francisco cultivates the homeless issue. You know,
That's just
San
another day.
Francisco, like LA,
Yes.
they have help for people. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want help. There's certain areas of homeless. Same with Seattle. Same with LA. Same with Portland.
Listen, every major city.
Yeah,
Every,
exactly.
every regular city.
But wouldn't
I
you
promise-
think that people living outside would want to come to where it's warm?
Yeah, I'd want to go to the West Coast if I was homeless. Why would
Yeah.
you want to live in Minneapolis?
gonna live
I want to go
outside.
live in Rob's carport.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Patrick, it's the paid resistance of homelessness. It's the best. They've cultivated it.
If I was homeless, I want to be in a beautiful city.
Morning,
I'm
Robbie.
not saying that I want to be homeless, but if I was, Santa Monica's the place for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
True.
hold on. Here's the funny thing. You watch these zombie movies, Mazzy. I just go outside and I see the zombies anyway.
I mean, you know, there's
Yeah, Rob tests them in the real world.
the thing is, all the mental health. Once again, all the money for mental health is being cut and stuff. You know,
The big beautiful bill.
It's going to get worse.
What does this mean?
America sick again.
A lot of them bathtub chemists.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
not good.
hey, listen. You'd show me a city, any city, and the costs of living in that city have
It's
gone
not
up.
because of the cost of living. It's because of the drug.
Well, let me listen.
it's two things.
I could
Mental health.
probably guess correctly that any sizable homeless population in any city didn't start off coming there to try and find a place to live and found out it wasn't affordable.
Yeah.
It's lack
Mental
of
health started in
affordable
1980s when
it's
Reagan
lack
cut
of
off
medical care.
funding for mental health treatment in the 1980s. That's when it really started growing, and it simmered. And then with the opioid crisis, it's been magnified in the last decade. Definitely. Yeah, cost of living is an issue, but there's a lot of places you can go. But look, I've been hearing that these places that used to be cheap are not cheap anymore. Places in the South, places, in Texas, places in North Carolina. Not those places aren't cheap compared to what they were, right? Am I wrong about that?
No place. There's no listen.
I'll tell you where you got to go. Great Lakes.
All right, thank you for your travel log, Jim.
Great Lakes. That's the only place for global warming.
Ozarks. There's no drugs in the Ozarks.
San Francisco didn't keep. Either did Portland. Either did Seattle.
Listen, hold on.
Vancouver.
Anyone who says this has no understanding of the homeless issue.
Right.
Okay.
Anyone?
Hold on. San Francisco is not even a top 10 city in the U.S. Okay.
It's not even a top 10
So
city. In
hold
California.
on, Jim. Shut up and let me finish talking. It's not even a top 10 city in the U.S. So to make San Francisco the gold standard of what homelessness is fucking ridiculous. It is not even the biggest city. Go. We could bring up reports of Houston, Texas, as almost the fourth or third largest city in our country in Texas. And I bet you, percentage wise, their problem with homelessness is greater than San Francisco. But it's an easy thing.
San Francisco does it right.
It's an easy thing
Well,
to
San
say.
Francisco is literally 49 square miles, so it's a smaller area.
No, but
So
it doesn't. No, but here
it
you're not
seems
helping
like
me make.
it's-
You're not helping me make my point.
No, but it
now.
seems like it's bigger than it was compared to Houston.
That
Small
actually
enough you could ride your bike
that
to a
has nothing
concert.
to hold on. That has nothing to do with why people go the homelessness in San Francisco, and they as a way of bashing blue or
The food's
Democrat.
better in San Francisco.
Now, hold on, Mazzy. That is no reason because it's a touchstone as like the most liberal bastion of the U.S. is San Francisco, but it isn't statistically not even close to being the biggest city, top 10 city at all. So I don't understand why people use it as some sort of way to point out
it's
the
a
negative
liberal.
in the world.
It's a signpost. It's a liberal.
It's a signpost.
It's just, in fact, Seattle, I'm finding, is a much more liberal city than San Francisco is today. It's different, but it's similar. It's
It's
similar.
all the people from California moved up here.
Exactly. You're Harry is so spot on today at this episode. You need to make
Especially
this
the ones from San
Harry. Harry is right
Yeah,
about
but
everything he says.
I promise you, Chuck T, it is no way a direct connection to the problem with homelessness. That it's
Okay,
an
you
expensive.
know what?
Hold on. I promise that Baltimore, which you live close to, is not a cheap place to live in. It is not. So to say that San Francisco's number 2 and Baltimore's 27, it really is. It's not an affordable place to live if you want to live in the city of Baltimore. I promise.
Look at, we know Nashville is expensive as hell now too. San Francisco is in the top 2. It might be it was number 1, might be 2 again. I don't know. But, because it's so small, people don't realize how small San Francisco is. It's compact. There's nowhere to build. You can build up. Yes.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Joey, here's the reason. Because more people live in all these places.
Right.
But I bet percentage-wise, Birmingham, Alabama, percentage-wise, probably has issues with homeless people. Okay?
It's funny. They're talking about like murders. The murder capital of, California has, a lot more murders than certain states, but per capita. Louisiana has more murders than California, so if you talk about the population, these southern states that have more murders per capita than.
But here's what I wish people would talk about with the issues. It's sort of the linchpin. Can I finish talking? The linchpins that people use to make their point, and it's silly because like when they go the illegal aliens, the criminals are murdering everyone. More Americans murder Americans than illegal aliens.
Yep.
I'm sorry to tell you that. Okay? Why aren't we dealing with probably the most amount of murders is car accidents? Why are we dealing with those murders?
Well, we do to a point.
Drunk driving.
But we don't do anything about.
I want everyone. If I run for president, I'm going to stop drunk driving because that kills more people than anything. Okay? Thank you.
Okay.
And it's not called Frisco either.
Yes, it is. I call it Frisco.
No, it's not.
I call it Frisco sometimes, but I'm a native. Natives are allowed to call it Frisco.
No, they're not.
Yes,
I call it.
My wife scoffs at that idea.
Watch natives look at me weird.
Here's my biggest problem with San Francisco, and I hope everyone will agree with me. I've been to San Francisco many times. Not one time have I been able to find a place that serves rice-a-roni. And I'm sick of it.
That's true.
Okay, I want to respond to Patrick. Illegal immigration is an issue, but why don't they go after the people who give them jobs?
Patrick. Okay, I know we're going here. There has been 3 major immigration bills in the last 25 years. And there's a small segment on the right that nixed them. Now, it is a compromise, but you need a good immigration bill. Yes, we need border security and all that stuff, but you need a good path to citizenship. You need to do legal citizenship.
They don't want to. They don't want anybody here unless they're white.
Absolutely.
40% of
white,
people,
blue eyes and white.
40% of the people picking crops in the San Joaquin Valley, which is huge. That's where all the fucking food comes from. 40% of those people are undocumented. Are you telling me that there isn't a need for those fuckers to be there? They weren't drawn there. 40%. They're not hiding it. They're sucking those people in to pick the fucking crops.
The criminals and the rapists are taking all the jobs.
And for these people to come in and start grabbing those people, it's all performative.
No,
bullshit.
I'm sorry, Patrick. This was a bipartisan bill. One was under Bush.
Here, I'm going to stop this right now.
One was under Bush.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to stop this right now. If guys want to discuss this, go do a live stream about it. I was okay taking it to one point about the homeless, but again, I think everyone feels the same way about the state of the world. The wrong people are running the wrong people are running the world. We have the wrong people everywhere running the world. If we had ran the world, it'd be much different. There'd be reissues of real records we want, and not giant Bruce Springsteen boxes.
Yeah, you're getting rapists in the White House now. See, that's
no,
it goes from the top down.
Well, hold on, Mazzy. Some people, there were rapists in the White House, so calm down.
Well, there's a rapist.
There was
The Rice thing is
wasn't Thomas Jefferson the original rapist?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But we bookend them now with Thomas and the guy.
Listen,
there now.
I'm okay with being racist about this.
About John King.
Everyone, I think we all can agree. And this, I agree with Mazzy wholeheartedly. I just don't think it makes for good time to hang out and have a nice conversation.
True.
Okay?
That's true.
Okay.
I'd rather talk about how horrible Harry looks in green. That's my deal.
Okay.
You guys didn't get the memo? Okay. We're all supposed to wear green today.
This is an excellent version. I ended up really. You know, I think it's equal to the Run Out Groove. I ended up selling.
The Run Out the Groove has an extra disc in it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It's got a better cover, but not a better.
No, they put out in a version with 2 discs, and they put out a version with 1 disc.
Okay. Anyway, this is excellent. This is Rhino Reserve. It's excellent. I mean, posthumous. Curtis Mayfield produced and finishes off, and you know.
Did he do the ukulele somewhere over the rainbow?
No, not all large gentlemen are one person.
Every time you talk about that record, Mazzy, please talk about it correctly. It really is a Curtis Mayfield record, and Baby Louie or Baby Huey sings on like 2 songs.
Sings 3 songs, but still, it's his band backing up.
Everyone out there, it's a good record to get if you like Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah,
it's a Curtis Mayfield record.
Curtis Mayfield doesn't sing on it, but he plays, he produces.
He wrote all the songs, he produced it.
Yeah, it is AAA. It's all analog.
Is it really necessary though? I don't know. Is it essential?
Yeah.
If you like R&B music, absolutely.
No, I don't think it's an essential record. No,
I didn't either. I
really think it's a good record, like the NBC creation.
John, 6-inch. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I'm all off 45 RPM, so I'm not going to get it. Same with the first Funkadelic. I can't go 45 anymore, so I'm not getting it. But it'll probably sound excellent. But I'm not getting it. Are you getting it, John? Are you going to get a Mo-Fi? You don't seem like the type. You're going for originals mostly, right?
What about the Diamonds and Dust or Diamonds and Rust?
It's a 45 also, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not going to get it.
I mean, the original's so I like that record, but as much as I have it, the original 33 is sufficient for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am selling not all, but most of my 45s, unless there's something else.
Hold on.
Are you?
Can I speak about someone who really, when you don't associate Concert Buddy much with music, because I don't think he talks about it much. Chance, what's that? I'm going to show the record Chance found, which I am looking for, and I think Patrick. I don't know. Pat, we went into a record store when Patrick was visiting. The store owner was playing a record. Patrick inquired about buying it, and he goes, "No, I'm keeping it." And it so perturbed Patrick. But Chance, did you find an original copy of this record? And I'm going to try and pull up your very rarely visited Instagram. Hold on.
What? I can't believe you really said that Concert Buddy doesn't really talk about music.
Does anyone know that I was joking? So here,
Concert Buddy. It's not Pearl Jam. He doesn't talk about music.
Hold on. This is what's surprising. How in the world did you just buy this record, Concert Buddy? And 6-inch, do you know this record? Come on, you can do it. Come on, camera. You can. There. The whole darn family has arrived. And I know it came out as a couple different titles. It's from Richmond, Virginia. They're from Richmond. It is a kick-ass funk soul record. Kick-ass. Now,
Hey-
how did you know about this record, Concert Buddy? That's my question.
Hey, Bobby Gass, I'm not talking about 45 singles. I'm talking about albums that are
I'm
cut
trying-
up as 45s.
Yeah, see, this record, Patrick wants it. Can you send it to him to rip? Because it is a kick-ass record.
I'm talking about albums that are cut 45 and split
Yeah,
up.
but how did you know about this record? That's what I want to know. Because I think we're ending this nonsense. Because do you ever talk about funk or soul when you talk about shit on the internet?
Not unless they've wrestled.
This record, people, if you ever see it, you buy it. It kicks ass. It's a kick-ass record. And I don't know if 6-inch Pianist is you can stream this it's on Apple Music, by the way. It really is good.
You guys. I'm amused.
So have you switched your allegiance to funk music now?
I hope so. I might have a funk cover, my next cover story, hopefully. Working on the artwork.
Will there be a Boomer Scalper article?
No, he keeps kicking it out of the paper.
If I can sell enough ads, then no. If you see Boomer Scalper in the paper, it means that I ain't making any money.
You should do. You know how Mad Magazine used to do paperbacks of all the Spy versus Spy and that. You should do a whole list with just Boomer Scalper.
Well, actually,
right.
I'm slowly trying to make a Substack with all the Boomer Scalper articles.
I want to do the. Remember they used to do the shit in the margins, Spy versus Spy, and all that in the margins.
Yeah,
I would love to be able to do that.
Well,
do a cover that folds in the back like the old Mads.
I would even like to do a flexi. Someone,
yeah.
Let's do
Harry,
a flexi.
Harry, watch. I'm gonna flip this, and you can see a little cartoon.
Right. Yeah.
You know, here's the deal. What's going on with Substack? Okay, I subbed to a couple of them, and now I'm getting like mass emails from people I don't even know wanting me to look at their Substacks, and that's not good. That's not a good way to run a business. If you're gonna not the people, not you.
You have to change your preference.
I actually have an answer for you, Harry. Do you want to hear it? We have one person to blame why you've been spammed by Substack. It's Jazzbum Mike, who started.
No, he's not doing it, but I think Substack is doing it, and there must be a way to opt out of that shit.
I think when I've signed up to some guys a long time ago, I may have given them an idea of my preferences, and that's why I get other shit. Maybe. I don't know. I don't get a lot, though.
All I'm going to say is Funkadelic. I think I'm going to order all the Funkadelic reissues, I think.
I am too, but no, I don't. I may skip the 45 because I just, I
prefer the beat up originals.
Hold on. Can I do a little wax theater? This is Mazzy's day. What am I going to do today? I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to do is get up twice to flip a record over.
Yeah, but it's not about the physical laziness at all. It's about the
really?
flow.
What is it then?
It's the flow of the music.
Okay. All right.
I end up selling all my Doors 45s that I had from Chad. I sold all my Music Matters Jazz 45.
Well, okay,
Actually, you know what?
You sold them on Whatnot?
No,
the Doors on Whatnot. The other one's someone from the Jazz.
Mazzy, actually, I have a good aspect of this Funkadelic 45, at least, that you will agree about. Okay? The 45s are going to have Stoughton tip-on jacket gatefolds.
I know. Yeah.
The regular ones are not.
Yeah, I know.
45 RPM doesn't matter what the fucking packaging is. There's one reason for it. It's because you get so much more physical space and it sounds better. That's all.
It sounds better. Wait, it sounds better if you're A being music.
No, wait. If you're the kind of person that sits and listens and just nothing else is going on, that kind of deep listening, and that kind of shit matters to you, then you might want to try the 45. But if you don't, then don't.
I have tried the
That's
45.
the only thing.
I have tried the 45s, and I find if you're not
flow
A-B,
means more.
if you're not
more to you.
A-Bing, you don't know what you're missing. If you're missing that
Okay.
much,
Right.
you know.
Okay. If you don't know what you're, if you don't,
Yeah,
right.
no,
So
but okay. I had the Chads.
So
I
you're
had the
making a
Chad
choice.
doors. I had the Chad doors, and I have the Rhino Hi-Fi. One of the 45s, I'd say, of the Chad is better than the Rhino Hi-Fi, but not by a lot. So I would a Doors album. I like the way it flows through a side
Right.
one, side
I
two.
can dig it, man. I can dig it. In
Yeah.
my,
And I'm
in
not
my
saying anyone else should not buy 45s. All
in
the
my
power to
case,
them.
it's the not by a lot that means a lot to me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's all.
I do have a few 45s left still, you know. So, but
Get rid of them, bro.
I
Yeah.
bought a collection.
Flow.
I bought a collection that broke down to 37 cents a record, and this was one of them.
nice.
That's nice.
Well,
Hey, you know,
all
I've
right,
got.
I'll take that from you, Harry.
Oh no, this is mine.
I'll take it.
I'm not,
I have
I'm not
it
selling
already, but I don't think I have the 7-inch.
Now,
If I
okay,
find another 7-inch, I'll hold
Matt,
it for you.
Matt's correct here. To me, the Surrealistic Pillow I have, the Mono 45, is so much better than any other version of Surrealistic Pillow because that is not a great sounding, even though I love the record. So that is one of the few I'm going to keep. That and Volunteers. MoFi did those two. I am going to keep those because I love them. But the Love double 45 I'm going to get rid of. The Young Rascals double 45 I'm going to get rid of. MoFi. What else do I? There's
You're
probably
an anti-45er.
Okay, never mind. You should get rid of those. Sorry.
it just at this point, yeah. I don't, you know what it is? I don't pull them off the shelf. Rarely. I mean,
Get rid. I can understand.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of 45s, but the one.
but I'm
I
also
do,
getting rid of a lot of doubles I have, even that are 33s. So
If you get any free 45 RPM records, I'll take them off your hands.
I just did I get one?
Hey, Harry, I'm going to send you a link. Someone around me is selling a couple big boxes for $200. So look at it and tell me what you think.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else?
anyone else? What?
I don't know. You were mishigoshing before.
About 45 RPM.
I do kind of like what Steve Hoffman and Kevin Gray says. Basically, if you want the 33 to equal the 45, turn it up 3 notches. I love that.
Good news. Good news, people.
What?
Like who?
I can't read it.
Jimmy Swaggart dies.
Well, he wasn't
Really?
like he's
I
one
thought he
of
was. I already thought he was dead.
he had sex with people, right?
There's a guy that's going straight to hell.
Oh, you
If
got
they
to
is,
now. You got to go play the Zappa version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, where it's Louisiana hooker with herpes. Picture yourself with a whore in New Orleans with big nasty bruises all over her thighs. Suddenly someone is there at the turnstile. It's the men from Assembly, oh God. Louisiana hooker.
The more I listen to Frank Zappa, the more that guy was brilliant.
Yeah, totally.
I think he was a brilliant asshole. But he was
No,
brilliant.
again, his lyrics are horrible. His music is genius.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with Zappa. Like Hot Rats is awesome because it's mostly all instrumental. If I could get instrumental Frank Zappa, that stuff is excellent.
You can get isn't
There's tons of it, but he couldn't help but fuck certain things up.
But I mean, when I say listen to, I mean listen to him speak. The guy was smart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you listen to him talk.
I love those first 3-4 albums and the lyrics. I think they're hysterical. When I was 13, 14 years old, when I got Freak Out and We're Only in It for the Money, and I love those records.
Yeah, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow. We loved it as
Well, that
kids.
was 74.
But still, at young,
3
you
or
know,
4. I like Apostrophe. I think that's his best commercial sort of record, personally.
Someone just mentioned the Grand Wazoo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
With a hype.
Nice
Is that a
deal.
hype sticker?
Yeah, nice hype sticker. And it's sealed.
Wow.
I might have to open it though. I don't know. I don't like buying sealed records. I went to see a performance of the Grand Wazoo at the Hollywood Bowl. I think it was the big, he had like 20 or 30 pieces, and he got booed because he didn't play guitar.
Hmm.
He just sort of conducted an orchestra. I thought it was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what was Rob's point about Zappa? Oh yeah, his lyrics are potty humor. Junior high school.
I
blah,
mean,
blah, blah.
some of it's okay, but look, I will give him credit for one thing. I've never heard someone phrase getting a BJ so many different ways.
It's true. It's true.
Mike,
Well, the Beatles,
if you haven't listened to him, Mike, do it gradually, but it's growing. It grows on me.
Start with hot rats.
Here's my favorite thing Jim says, because he's generally always playing Zappa when you drive around with him. And here's one thing you'll occasionally go. The song, based on a true story.
Yeah, the one about a lot of his, Carolina hardcore ecstasy. That was based
yeah, and
on a story.
second to based on a true story, you'll go, that actually happened to one of the band members.
Right. Yeah, he got his he had a hooker in his room and she stole his watch. They wrote a song about it.
Zappa's watch? They stole Zappa's watch?
No, George Duke.
Oh, George Duke.
I just listened to one of his albums. Pretty good. I mean, I've never listened to George Duke solo before. And it gradually became more and more Zappa-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zappa had such a big
And
effect.
Underwood's on it too. This particular
Ooh.
album.
Very nice. She's amazing.
The only time I saw Zappa was when Jean-Luc Ponty was in the band.
That's good.
How long was he in the band for?
10 minutes.
Cup
Like he
of coffee.
one tour, I think. That was
There is
70,
on his
73
own
or
albums-
4.
On his
73
own
or 4.
albums. On his own albums, he had Zappa people on them.
Yeah,
right?
Michelle photographed one of Jean-Luc Ponty's albums for Columbia.
Uh-huh.
I started watching Becoming Led Zeppelin. I'm not all through with it yet, but
I
You
liked
gotta
it.
watch that in one sitting. It's like rock and roll, kiddo.
yeah, I know. But I watch.
This ain't Downton Abbey.
I watch an hour and then I'll come back and watch the rest.
It's only 2 hours.
I know. I'm halfway through. Don't tell me how it ends.
I watched half of it, and I felt by that time it was getting repetitive on what they were doing.
That's why the movie works best in a movie theater. Go and see in a movie. It's like on IMAX, it was fucking great.
I had no idea that John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page played on Goldfinger and
Yeah.
To Serve With Love. I knew they were studio musicians, but
All
I
those
didn't
Mickey
know they
Most records. All those Mickey Most records. Yeah, Donovan and
Well,
They were like the wrecking crew of the UK.
well, didn't John Paul Jones says at a young age they were getting him to
well, he was arranging,
Arranging.
scoring and arranging and
Can
orchestrating.
you arrange? Yeah, sure. I'd never done it, but I figured my father said never turn down work. Good line.
I got a guy painting my house and he just ran into the peacock.
Oh,
Are
he
you
didn't.
sure-
He's not
are you
painting the Porsche, is he?
Are you sure
Huh?
he didn't get the? Are you
Porch.
sure ICE didn't
Porch.
come and take him away?
He's painting the porch,
where was the peacock at?
backyard. Well, we're doing the backyard now. The back of the house.
Can he do a mural on the pig?
We should, but I don't have the talent. It's not.
He
Carol
did-
Kay said she won't go in the Hall of Fame. She doesn't want to be in it.
He did a bung rendering on the side of the house.
Bungholio. Cornholio.
Today's Deborah Harry's birthday, by the way, everybody. She
And
turned
it's Canada Day again. Let's
How old is she?
80, 80 years old. Deborah
Debbie
Harry's
Harry is 80.
80,
Wow.
right?
Oh, Chester Thompson, what a great drummer. And the other guy played with the LA Phil, the other drummer.
It's Chester Thompson who was on Black Jazz, not the Chester Thompson. Is it the
You're
Chester
early,
Thompson who
Richard.
played with
Different,
Genesis?
different. No. Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
9
the
o'clock.
drummer. Yeah. Chester Thompson.
Well-
I've seen him play. He's fucking awesome on drums.
So Zappa
I didn't get here until 7:30. Can you just go until 9:30 so I get a full 2 hours?
No.
full 2 hours in. Zappa talked George Duke into playing electronic keyboards. He had never done it before. He'd only played piano. And he also talked him into singing.
Which
So,
he had
there you
he had a hit song singing.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Top
went on to-
40 song.
he blossomed under Frank's guidance. Isn't that nice? And you know the Persuasions, you know the a cappella
Mhm.
group, the
Yeah.
Persuasions?
yeah.
They got their first contract through Frank,
I love the
and they did a CD of Zappa songs, a cappella, strictly frankly a cappella, I think it's called.
You
All
should
right.
write a book.
We've gone past 9. I really appreciate.
Yeah, go get your record collector news. Hopefully they'll be out on the streets.
Yeah. Hold
You're
on.
right.
I don't know.
I can't get it anymore because you don't send it to
Who's
my
this
local.
person? Who's this person? Does anyone
Pal
know?
yet? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll
have to
just
get
have to go to
Jimmy
Georgetown.
Swagger died again.
You're gonna force me to go to Turntable Treasures, aren't you, Jim?
I love that guy, Pete. Come on, man.
I like Pete, but the store is the
It's
records
just
are so
back-
tight you can't flip. You can't.
Yeah,
You
that's
got to pull a bundle out to look.
CD Trader, they do the same thing. It pisses me
all
off.
right. I think we're all dealing with Jimmy Swaggart's death in our own way.
All right,
yeah.
goodbye. Let's mourn.
Yeah,
Happy trails. See you
smoke them if
Thursday.
you got them.
Okay, everyone have a wonderful day. We'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.